Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at Earth and Sky, and those of you joining us online, we really value and appreciate each and every one of you. We always love it when you hit the subscribe button as you're watching us on YouTube. Feel free to share this out with your friends and family. Today we're talking about your Pluto return and what happens when Pluto returns in your astrology chart. I don't talk a whole lot usually about astrology. It's not my forte of expertise, but this has come up a few times lately, and I just felt really drawn to discuss it with each of you. So I had met a couple weeks or so ago with a London-based astrologer who's probably one of the best in the world. It's amazing. But she was talking about this part of my soul as we go through different lives, and we have not only our life chart for this chart, but we also have our soul chart, which shows our transits through a whole bunch of different stuff over multiple lifetimes. Is my Pluto return lifetime, which only happens about every 250 years. And what piqued the interest, because probably none of you really care that much about that with me, but it piqued my interest a lot for you guys because America is having its Pluto return, and I know most of our viewers are in the United States. And when I was talking today with my elder shaman at a training, she brought up the Pluto return, and then it came up again after that, and we were talking about how much it's affected different countries in so many different ways. Pluto is a very, very slow-moving planet. It's the slowest of all of them, and it takes about 248 years to get back to the exact same spot that it was when it originally was, when whatever it is you're talking about was created. So when the Declaration of Independence was signed back in 1776, that started the birth natal chart for the states, if you're not familiar with countries' astrology yet. And so this year, we're right back in that same spot. Pluto is a planet that likes to shake things up a lot. It likes to kind of wreak a little havoc as it shakes things up and then sees what falls out and what's going to stay and how can we cause a little bit of chaos to look at what we're doing and decide, are we doing the right thing? Do we want to keep going that way, or do we need to do something totally different, or do we just want to scrap everything and start brand new from scratch? Because Pluto is such a slow-moving planet, its effects can take a little while. We've been feeling the effects of the Pluto return for a couple of years now. We'll be feeling it maybe for, even 4 or 5 years, some might argue. And we'll be feeling it for a couple of years after the return is in that exact spot, maybe again 4 or 5 years after it leaves the spot. Most empires from around the world, oh my gosh, I can't remember the date, I think it was like 800 BC. Most empires since then fall within about 250 years, right at that mark. And a lot of them have things really vastly shaken up at that time period. There's a lot of different theories behind that, yet at the same time, it's always that same astrology that happens to be there. It's kind of interesting. The Assyrian, the Greece, the Ottoman, and several others fell at that mark. Rome had quite a big shakeup during its first Pluto return, and the fall of the Roman Empire happened during the second Pluto return. It has quite a tremendous force that backs it, and it's really important to think within yourself, what will you do when chaos happens? When the unexpected happens? When it feels like things are just being shaken up quite a bit and you're not sure where to find stability or what looks like structure that is going to be there and what might be crumbling away. It's important to find your own footing and to know how to adapt to the changes as they happen. Within a Pluto return, it's always good to look at what house it's in the astrology chart. For the states, it's in the second house, which is going to be governing finance, economics, supply chain, movement of commercial goods. And a lot of that is stuff that we've been seeing quite a bit of shakeup in. And it's really good to kind of pay attention within yourself. Pluto's return gives us a chance to know that it doesn't always have to be the status quo, that we can always change vastly within our lives what it is that we want to do. It gives us a chance to reinvent ourselves. This is not to say that the nation is going to fall and it'll be the end of the empire. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying this is going to be shaking a lot of things up. And to know that when things do get shaken up, it's okay, because there's always going to be a future that comes out of it. And it's up to each of us to decide through our behaviors, through our thoughts, through our actions, what that future is going to be, both individually and as a collective community, both within our own communities locally around the nation and as global partners too. Every action, thought, and deed that you do within your own life has a ripple effect that goes out through the communities, bigger and bigger, out through the world. It's not some big overarching ideal that changes or creates the fate of the world. It's each of us as individuals, one at a time, that causes the creation of everything that happens in our lives. It's a great awakening when you begin to realize that within yourself. And one of the things I feel like it's important for all of us to address right now is to think about, what do you do when chaos happens? What do you do when you get news that feels like it just shakes your world? It might be news that you sometimes have to deal with when we have the loss of someone that we love, whether a furry friend or a family member or anything else. Sometimes that shakes our world in a bit. It might be that there was a loss of a job or a huge career shift or change, or maybe something crazy that just happens at work and it shakes up just the day, or it shakes up the year, or it feels like you're losing your footing and not sure what direction you're going to be taking things. This is a reminder that as we're in the midst of the Pluto return, we've gone through the pre-shadow phase and we're kind of in the midst of the depth of it right now, to think about, where do you get your grounding and your stability and your peace when nothing else around you is the same? If you cannot rely on anyone or anything else as a sense of security, where do you get that? From within yourself? Do you find that from something that you feel is above yourself, or from something that's within yourself? But figure out where that stability is, where that sense of peace comes from, because when you tap into that, a tremendous power opens within you, and you are unstoppable in your ability to create from whatever it is that is around you. Whatever chaos seems to erupt around you, you will be the calm in the midst of the storm. And when you maintain that calm in the midst of the storm, you're going to be able to find that you can write your fate. You can write your destiny. You can choose what your thoughts are. You choose what your actions are. You choose how you react in this world, or how you act rather than react would be a better way to say it. One of the big keys of this is remembering to always pause before you react. Pause, think, take a moment to decide what it is you're going to do, and then take the action. It's always good too to ask yourself, why is this in my movie? If you think of your life as a movie, look at, why is this in my movie? This is here for a reason. Why are these changes happening? Why does it feel like there's instability? It might be that it's shaking away all the things that you really didn't think you wanted to let go of, but you really needed to let go of so you can get to even greater heights. A lot of times we'll hold on to the comfort and what feels safe and secure simply because we know it, but it's not really what is safe and secure. It's what's holding us back from our pure potential. So take a moment as you are going through each of the things that bring up a little bit of chaos in your life, and know that if it feels like this year gets a little bit crazier than it has already felt like it has gotten, that is okay. You have everything that you need within yourself. I see that light that's in you. I see the strength that's within you. And as you see that and know that within yourself, you can unlock that potential. You can have that peace. You can stand in the midst of chaos and feel the strength, the stability, the safety, the security, the peace of the entire universe that is within you. Because just as we are in the universe is in us, and we have all of that potential here. So just some food for thought as we're going to be journeying a bit closer and closer into the Pluto return, and some things to think about for how you will be thinking, acting, and moving forward. I look forward to seeing each of you next Sunday. We always look forward to your likes, your feedback, your comments. If you have any questions or any topic suggestions, we're always open to that as well. Thank you from all of us here at Earth and Sky. Have a great week.